There is a word we use here that deserves closer inspection. Fine. Not good, not well, not thriving, or struggling, or any of the honest words that might require a follow-up question. Just fine. Deployed with a particular efficiency, delivered with a smile that closes the conversation rather than opens it. I'm fine. Things are fine. We're managing. And the person asking nods, and the exchange completes itself, and everyone moves on, and nothing has actually been said. This is not dishonesty exactly. It's something more sophisticated than that. It's a social contract, a mutual agreement not to look too closely. And it runs so deep in the way we communicate that most of us don't even notice we've signed it. I've been thinking about when I first learned to say fine. It wasn't a lesson with a date. Nobody sat me down and explained that certain feelings were not for public consumption. But it was communicated, clearly and consistently, through the way the adults around me handled their own interior lives. Which is to say, they didn't. Not visibly, not in company. The difficulties of life, financial pressure, marital strain, career disappointment, the slow grief of ambitions that didn't arrive. These things happened, obviously. They were present in the room. You could feel them the way you feel weather changing. But they were not named. They were managed, contained, presented to the outside world as fine. And so you learn. Not that feelings are wrong, just that they're private in a way that approaches secret. That the appropriate response to "how are you" is never the true one. That strength, in this context, means not showing the places where you're not strong. It's a deeply human instinct, but it has a cost that accumulates quietly, the way debt does when you're not checking the balance. The cost shows up in specific ways. It shows up in the man who has been unhappy in his career for 6 years, but describes it as fine. It pays well. I can't complain. As though the inability to complain were the same as the absence of a complaint. It shows up in the relationship that has been over in every meaningful sense for 2 years, but continues because ending it would require saying out loud what both people already know privately. Because saying it out loud would make it real. So instead, we're fine, just busy. It's a difficult season. It shows up in the man who wanted something specific and different and true, who got close enough to it once to know what it felt like, and who has since arranged his life carefully around never getting that close again. Because proximity to the thing you want and can't have is its own particular suffering. So he is fine, functioning, present at the table, occasionally even convincing. What I've started to notice is that fine is not a neutral word. It is not the absence of an answer. It is an answer. And what it answers is something older and more defended. Something that sounds like, are you holding together? Are you still presenting correctly? Is the structure intact? And fine says, yes, the structure is intact. Do not investigate further. The problem is that structures require maintenance, and maintenance requires acknowledgement. And acknowledgement requires first the willingness to look at the thing directly and call it what it is. A crack is a crack. Calling it fine doesn't seal it. It just means nobody brings the tools. There is a version of strength I was taught that I have been slowly unlearning. The version I was taught said that strength was the absence of visible difficulty. That the measure of a man was his capacity to absorb pressure without deformation, to keep moving, to provide, to present, to remain at all times essentially fine. The version I'm learning now says something different. It says that the willingness to name a thing accurately is not weakness. That saying this is hard is not the same as saying, I cannot handle this. That the people who actually hold things together over the long run are not the ones who pretended everything was fine. They're the ones who looked at what wasn't working and said so, quietly, to someone, somewhere, at least once. The funeral in Fine is not dramatic. There's no ceremony. Nobody stands at the front and says what was lost. It happens in increments. A feeling named nothing, filed under manageable. A desire unspoken long enough that it starts to feel like it never existed. A version of yourself that needed acknowledgement and didn't receive it. Not because nobody cared, but because nobody knew. Because you said fine, and they believed you. Because you'd given them no reason not to. I don't have a clean resolution to offer here. What I have is this. I've started paying attention to when I say fine. Just noticing it, the automatic reach for it. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes, I pause before I say it. I let the question sit for a moment. I ask myself what's actually there. Sometimes what's there is genuinely fine. But sometimes it's something else entirely. Something that has been waiting patiently to be called by its actual name. And the moment I call it, even quietly, even only to myself, something shifts. Not dramatically, not with fanfare, just a small loosening, like a window opened in a room that has been closed for too long.